alluded to Neal Mohan, who is the YouTube CEO, and his he published an annual letter this morning to YouTube community, and he has some choice things to share about AI slop. Go ahead and put AI slop, surrounded by quotes, because those were his words. He likens this moment of AI content to, I thought this was kind of interesting actually, previous moments in content online that once, I'd say, puzzled the mainstream, but is now accepted. I think the one example of those would be just your standard like gaming let's plays, like I'm gonna fire up a live stream and I'm gonna record this video of me playing a game. And there was probably a time way back when, almost certainly there was a time way back when, where it was like, really, why don't you just play it instead? In fact, I think I remember us talking about that on podcasts. But now it's a huge deal. ASMR videos. And I know this firsthand because my daughters have gone through phases with ASMR, but it's ridiculous. And yet it's such a success, right? Yeah. And so he's kind of likening the moment we're at with AI creation, AI content creation, to those where we're still kind of in the early phase of like, I don't know how I feel about it. I automatically don't like it because it's something I'm not used to, or there's something about it that I don't like. And he definitely had a lot to say about it. I can read some of his words, but did you have a chance to kind of check out what how he feels about all this stuff? Well, actually, no, this came in really close to the showtime, so you might not have had that chance.
I did a TLDR on it, but read some of his words, because this topic I have a lot of thoughts about.
Okay, cool.
Read some of his words.
So do I. All right. So this is largely what the block that I pulled. The rise of AI, this is his words. The rise of AI has raised concerns about low quality content, aka in parentheses AI slop. As an open platform, we allow for a broad range of free expression while ensuring YouTube remains a place where people feel good spending their time. But with this openness comes a responsibility to maintain the high quality viewing experience that people want. To reduce the spread of low quality AI content, we're actively building on our established systems that have been very successful in combating spam and clickbait and reducing the spread of low quality, repetitive content. And just basically it sounds like he's pushing to, I'd say, crack down on, I mean, he said it a couple of times there, low quality AI slop, which are probably redundant terms, depending on who you ask. Also deep fakes. He's definitely talking about deep fakes through stronger recommendation systems, transparency labels, likeness protections, that sort of stuff. Yeah. So that's kind of where his positioning is.
Yeah. I mean, like, we're doing a podcast, right? Mm-hmm. There was a time when you had to have a radio channel / whatever license / something.
Yeah.
To even be on the air, or you had to be like a ham radio person, right? Like, So I would love to go back in time and see all the people saying this is a bad idea. You're gonna have a bunch of people blabbering about the silly things we blabber about times a bazillion, right? So like digital photography, blogging, you're a blogger, that's a joke. Like, you were ridiculed by the news industry. Like,
yeah, it's true.
So all these shifts are just what they are. And TikTok, I mean, if we look up his quotes on TikTok, I bet you we would see him not really being impressed by it at first, and now they're trying to mimic it.
Yeah, right? Yeah, totally. They all follow the same game plan.
I'm excited because the more we allow creative people to create, you're going to get more stuff, and some of it's going to be bad, of course. Yeah, you're going to free up that one person who has a wonderful idea but couldn't express it because they didn't have the money or the tooling, right? So that's what I'm excited about, is like, we're going to have thousands and thousands of more stories and animations and movies, but when you find those ones that are good, you're going to be like, wow, this person had a story that they were able to get out that otherwise they would have had to gone through some serious bureaucracy to do so, whether it's Hollywood or whatever. So no, I think there will be slop, but that's just part of figuring out too how to use these tools and what we're trying to do with it. So
yeah, and I think one thing that stood out for me too is, like, there's another piece of news today based on what he shared, which is that that Shorts will soon get an AI tool to help creators generate content that uses their own AI likeness. So, you know, this is Google/YouTube saying there is a level at which we are uncomfortable, like we want to control and we want to kind of ratchet down the low quality, the deep fakes that are used, you know, non-consensual stuff, that sort of thing. But there is a level at which we feel comfortable, you know, a feature like this that gives a creator the ability to choose for themselves whether they do this, which is something that's happening on Sora right now.
Oh yeah.
Right. Sora has their cameo feature and people choose to do that. Haven't checked in on Sora in a while. I kind of lost track with it. But I mean, YouTube also has, you know, their AI auto dubbing feature, which is
that's cool.
It's cool. It's also a little weird and unsettling when I've listened to it. It's like, okay, I guess it's better than nothing. But anyways, there's also a dream screen feature, I guess, that generates video and image backgrounds from text prompts. So they've got their feet on both sides. And I think they're just really saying here, like, there is a level at which the quality is such that, you know, people will push back. And I think to your point, there is no real balance here because not everybody loves this stuff and not everybody hates this stuff either. And so if you're in the position of YouTube, how do you find that balance? And I don't think they've found that yet. They're working towards that.
Yeah, it's a tricky one too, because with all of this, we're going to discover new things we never imagined before. And in that, we'll discover some type of way to tell a story differently. There's so many examples of just stuff on YouTube right now that you're like, that's just so funny, and they couldn't have done that years ago with the technology and the budget, you know, that people are doing right now. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad they're thinking guardrails and things to help at that level, but some of it is going to just be a lot of slop until something comes out of it, you know.
Right. Yep.